Was it yesterday or the day before? Wendy went down to the mailbox and picked up a parcel slip to pick up something at the post office. And a YouTube viewer in Poland and his family sent us something super cool, a really cool, unique gift. Michael is a longtime viewer in Poland and his family. And hey there, Camel. How's it going? And so anyway, I went to the post office and this box was there for me to pick up. It says Banana Joe and Wendy on it. And so I picked up this box at the post office. Hey, Palmy pal. And we opened up this box. Yesterday was my birthday. Happy birthday. You're still a young fella.
Happy birthday.
Camel in South Carolina.
Hey, Camel.
So anyway, so we opened up the box and we got these super cool mugs from Michael in Poland. Show what they, so
Joe.
Michael had this 50-year-old oak tree in his garden that his grandpa planted. And I guess it died and then they cut it down.
So cool.
And he got these mugs made, these custom mugs, stainless steel inside, super, and they're huge. So this is this is an oak tree, and look at the grain in this. So thank you, Michael. Beautiful. If you are watching, I was just messaging him on Facebook. So if you're watching this live stream, join in. Gonna try this. Gonna try these mugs out today. I think these things will hold more than a beer.
Yeah. Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
You know what? Soup.
He says it's good for hot or cold. They're
soup.
Insulated.
I said even popcorn.
You could do soup in these mugs too.
Cold beer.
So, and our names are engraved in them, which is kind of cool.
Very nice.
Yeah. Have a good, I hope you had a good birthday down there. I don't even look forward to birthdays anymore because I'm getting so old. But
thanks, Michael.
Yeah, Michael in Poland and family, thank you so much for the super cool mugs. And yeah, I'm going to put this to the test today. I could never drink 2 beer at once, but when the sun comes around, there it is up there through those trees. It's
so cool.
It's this quarter after 12 here.
He grew on his property.
His grandpa planted this tree 50 years ago.
Goodness.
So cheers to you in Poland from Wendy and Joe.
Michael also probably had mugs made for them, his family.
Root beer, yeah, root beer would be good. A&W root beer in here, or Dad's root beer is good too. So that's actually going to hold quite a bit of root beer. I mean, these are really good size mugs, and they're really comfy too. There's a place to, they're like this, a beer stein barrel mug. They kind of look like a barrel. And I just think it's unique that it's a tree that that he grew, his grandpa planted. So there they are, right there. That's what they're looking like. And we're going to put them to the test. So anyway, we've got a beautiful morning. Well, it's afternoon now. It's quarter after 12, 12:15 p.m. Pacific time here. And the sun is not even full up yet. It still has to come around. It's still through those trees.
Scottish oat cakes.
I don't like them.
Oh, Mitchell loves them.
Yeah, she makes oat cakes. I don't really like those things.
So I'm Scottish too.
Italians don't like Scottish oat cakes. Italians like pasta and pizza and cannelloni and biscotti. So no oat cakes for this guy. So anyway, we had some rain last night. We had 6 millimeters of rain. And then, of course, we woke up to the sunshine. So the rain is really good. The 6 millimeters is just under a 1/4 inch of rain, and it's really good for the garden. We really need it. It's just so dry. We're on level 3 water restrictions here now, and forest fire rating is on its way to extreme. So let's just look in the back. That's what she's looking like down there, nice and lush. And if we could get rain like this every few days throughout the summer, it'd be awesome. Michael, hello, Michael. Hey, Wendy. Michael's in here. So you missed that, Mike. Thanks, man. These are awesome. These mugs are flipping awesome. Michael, cheers to you and your family. Grab that mug, Wendy.
Oh, yeah.
These are great mugs. And I think it's just a lot cooler that this was one of your trees in your garden.
Hi, Michael.
This was
Thank you. These are
an oak tree.
Beautiful. And the fact that it came from your property, your grandpa planted the tree. Wow.
No, Camel 6 millimeters is nothing. So anyway, these are, and they're sturdy mugs.
Hot soup.
You actually could use soup in these things. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what Wendy says, soup. Oh, so yeah. I'm going to try a beer in here after. If I do have a beer, I'll try one in here after. If not, I'll just put some water in it. Not saying it's bad, but it really doesn't help. Well, it's steady rain. It came down good, and I tell you what, the garden is really liking. You see the ground's still kind of wet here, but it doesn't soak in that much. That's the thing, and it's better than watering. Yeah, thanks, Michael. Appreciate it, man. That's really, really flipping awesome. We love those mugs. So stay tuned for a video here on this channel, Wendy's channel, of us unboxing your mugs. And we like the stamps, too. Those Polish stamps are really cool. Some of them had Asiatic lily. She's going to put the video on tomorrow. They They look like stargazer lilies on the Polish stamps. And I collect stamps, so those are going to the stamp collection. So anyway, it's like this jungly garden. When you get these rains, it just keeps everything so lush and so green. It's thick. It's really, really thick in here. Look at the abutilon tree. This abutilon tree up there, can you see that? Look at the flowers on that. I don't know if you can see that from here. Up there, it's just, this thing is just so full of flowers, this flowering maple. And no, it's not an acer. It is a abutilon. Look at that. They're just absolutely gorgeous. And when you look at this plant, it does not look like it would be evergreen, but that is 100% evergreen here. Excellent weather for palms. Yes, it is excellent weather for palms. And like I say, that bit of rain we had was just amazing. Here's the big leaf magnolia. And this is a really nice one to try, Michael. You should try one of these in your garden. It will work where you are in Poland. A nice hardy tree. Just put it in some good moist soil and it'll grow in full sun or part shade, and they get the nice flowers on them too. Nice big flowers. But give them room because these things get really big. Native to southeastern U.S. and northern Mexico. Something else blooming in here too. This is a really cool plant. This is Sambucus and fragrant. It's got a little bit of a fragrance to it, and it's got nice leaves. But we got the Hydrangea aspera, and here is going to bloom too. This one is a really tropical looking hydrangea. You don't see very much. It grows a lot bigger than this. Wendy grew it from a cutting taken from a friend's place, so it has really cool flowers on it. And here's one of our Scheffleras, the one that we planted a couple weeks back, doing really well. Or maybe it was even last week. I lose track of time sometimes, you know? It goes so fast, that's the thing. I'm really not sure to do with my Trachycarpus seeds, none of them. No, be patient with them. Be patient with Trachycarpus seeds. I mean, sometimes they can take a month to even germinate, right? So, or even maybe more. So be very patient. I am very patient with seeds because I've had some seeds take a year to germinate, right? I know Rapidophyllum seeds can take a long time, and Jubea chilensis seeds take a long time as well. Look at those sun rays. That's crazy. 5 months. Well, you might want to just throw them out in the garden somewhere. So they could be old seeds. If they're old seeds, then a lot of them might be duds. But you know what? There's one way to find out. Just go bury them in the garden somewhere. Put a little marker where you put them in the garden and keep track of them. Observe them, and maybe some of them, if you're lucky, will come up. I mean, like I say, we got them all over the garden. Trachycarpus palms. They're like all over the place. They're weedy here, but that's okay. It's a good weed. What was I going to say? I'm going to go down here and just see if the live stream will permit me to get down this far into the garden without dying on me, because I'm getting farther from the wireless router. Lots of birds out here. A garden, you know, it's funny when you start mass planting stuff like this over the years, you kind of create your own ecosystem, and it is just full of birds all the time, and there's lots of bird nests in our garden. Photos, pindos, palmettos, yes. Yeah, and there's a lot of pindos in private gardens here. You don't really see them in the public landscape, though. It's mostly collectors that seem to grow the pindos up here, but they are common in the nursery trade. Pindo palms never used to be years and years ago. In the early 90s, they started becoming popular about the mid-1990s. That's when I started seeing pindos show up. I had them back in the 1980s because I had some through the Palm Society, but you never really saw them in the nursery trade, right? You never really did see the pindos much. But so after this live stream, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the nursery and put the sign out on the road and maybe work down in the nursery, pot some stuff up. I got to pot some monkey puzzles up. So the tree fern absolutely loved that rain. I got to show you something here. So it's nice and warm down on this sun deck. So the tree fern absolutely loved that. You can see that the fronds are just about fully extended there, the new fronds on that baby. And I just want to show you the chainsaw trachea while I'm down here, okay? So chainsaw trachea is looking like this. There is the chainsaw trachea. Can you see that? Look at this. Hard to see, I guess. but it's starting to almost look like a palm tree again. So that's where they chainsawed it off right down here. You can see it pushing up like hydraulics, you know. So I'm very, very happy with that. And the growth on this thing is coming. You can see the eucalyptus right here. Do you have Washingtonian in a pot? Yes, we do. A couple of them in pots. One of them actually root rotted, so I threw it out and I put a date palm in. The pot wasn't sufficient with the drainage in the bottom. And I'm looking at this thing, it's like, why is that palm declining? And I pulled on it, came right out of the pot and all the roots were rotted off. So I put a bunch of pine cones on the bottom of this. I had a nice washi in there too. It's kind of a bummer. I like them, but I like date palms too. So there's one of my seed grown date palms right there. There's one in the garden over here, I'll show you. It's a washi right there. You see that one? And you know, they're just a short-term palm up here. You have to, I mean, I know of a nice one growing in Seattle, and it's actually been there, I think, for probably 10 years, growing in a sheltered spot. And there are people that do grow them up here, but they're definitely not a long-term palm. You're going to get a bad winter, and it's going to nuke them, unfortunately. So better to stick with palms that are more hardy for this area, right? Like this, Camarops humilis. See, Camarops is a tough palm. And then we've got the blue one beside it. So that's, I say, foolproof. And lots of different types of eucalyptus trees will grow here. These ones I cut back just because they're getting out of hand. Oh, I'll show you something right over there. And I can't go that far. There's a pineapple broom blooming. You can see the flowers on it over there. Pineapple broom tree from Morocco, from the Atlas Mountains of Morocco. And that one actually smells kind of like a pineapple. And the flowers are kind of pineapple-y. This is a cool plant. See this one? See the berries on this? Can you see that? If you can see that with the sun shining in here. Man, it's kind of annoying. Right there. See these berries that look like little grapes? This is the giant Mahonia. And the birds absolutely love these berries. So to eat, look at, they've been stripping them off here, the robins. Robins love those things. And I think you could probably make jelly out of them, but Wendy ate one this morning. They're pretty sour. And so here's the eucalyptus trees that I cut. All right, you can see them now coming. They're sprouting out like crazy. And I got to show you this other one. I'll show you this other one here. It's pretty cool. This one right here, check it out. It's grown like crazy. Look at the growth on that white gum right there. That's the one they cut in early February. And this one here too. You can see it coming in there beside the palm tree. And it's funny, none of the other ones yet are actually sprouting out front. Let's see. I don't want to get too far from the router. I'm not seeing any growth on this one. I see a caterpillar, but I don't see any growth on it. And that's fine. It doesn't matter to me. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We don't have, there's no shortage. You know what? There's no shortage of eucalyptus trees on the property. So if they grow back, some of them, that's okay. If the other ones don't, that's fine too. And because, you know, they do get out of hand. They grow really fast, and I don't want any big ones near our house anymore. Just like I say, they're too dangerous, really dangerous. So remember that, folks, when planting eucalyptus trees, don't plant them too close to your house because, you know, like I say, when they get big enough, they start to drop branches without warning. And you don't want to get flogging on the noggin with a eucalyptus branch because they are heavy. I mean, that's a good way to get wiped out, getting a eucalyptus branch dropping on you, right? So anyway, I'm going to get back up in here into the shade. So thanks for joining in the live stream. I won't go too long today because, oh, Wendy's going to town. Wendy, we got friends coming over soon. So she's making some strawberry shortcake. And I want to show you something if I can get in here. There's a robin nest up here, right in there. And I thought she'd left permanently, but she came back again. What's the temperature? I didn't look. I'm guessing right now it's probably about, in the shade, maybe about 18 degrees, 19 degrees, something like that. So 18 or 19, I think, something like that. I mean, it's not cold out. I want to show you something if I can see the robin in here, Michael. She's sitting in the nest, right there. There's a robin nest right there. You see that? That's pretty cool. I don't want to bother her, but that's an evergreen clematis. And let me get around here because I don't want the live stream to die on me. And the kiwis are really really setting flower buds right now too. So we're going to hopefully get a lot of kiwi fruit. So here's Wendy's pride and joy, the fuchsias. She's got these big fuchsia bushes. Sure hope those two Indian brothers. Which one's that, Michael? I'm not following the news that much because every time I listen to the news, they're always talking about, I'm going to say the mandemic. Hey, check out this. Isn't that a beauty? So Wendy grows a lot of clematis in the garden, and look at the stamens on that. So that's a deciduous one. And then we have a couple of different types of evergreen ones. That's an evergreen one over top of Gallery 59, over the art gallery there. And that thing, the flowers on it are spectacular. Late winter, early spring, that one will bloom. So if you want to try a nice vine in your garden, try Clematis armandi, Snowdrift, and then there's another one called Apple Blossom, and she's got both types. And the passion vine, let's see how the passion vine's doing. If it's blooming yet. There's a couple of passion vines in here. Passion vine here. Oh, there's flower buds on it. That's good. So there's a passion vine. One of the passion vines. There's another one down there too. Get out of here and get back into the sunshine. So she removed some of the burnt out leaves from this fatsia here. It was like all crispy from the sun. So Wendy came out this morning. She cut those off. And these ones here have never been burnt by the sun. Isn't that funny? So like I was saying, the variegated ones, for some reason, didn't like that heat we had a couple weeks ago. It fried some of the leaves on them. So anyway, she removed those, which is fine. And here's the acuminata coming. This one got severely sun scorched when I put it outside. So it's coming back, and I think it actually needs to be transplanted. I bring that into the house for the winter time. So I was at Hal and Michelle's place. I stopped by there, I guess it was last weekend, and I cut their banana, the red banana, Ansete ventricosa morillii. I cut the banana back because it was, the top of it was kind of, I guess it must have froze back, and it was impeding, it was stopping the growth from coming out. So what I did, I started cutting it, and I cut it back to like really firm tissue. And Musabaju banana. We have Musabaju bananas. They're really big, but I can't go down there. It's too far away. The Musabajus we have are big. This one here is acuminata. Acuminata. So those are the dwarf Cavendish. So anyway, I cut Hal's banana back to live tissue, and then his wife sent me a picture of it, and it is actually starting to grow. And it's kind of like when you cut a Trachycarpus palm. If it's not shooting out any growth, sometimes you can cut them back, and they will push out new growth. Now, unfortunately, the one that I have, I cut, and it's not sending out any growth, so I'm thinking it's dead. And it's too bad. I dug it out of someone's garden. It got way too stressed out in the summertime, and no new growth. So anyway, rest in peace, Trachycarpus palm. But Hal's red banana is moving a little bit, and it's just like that palm tree down there that they cut with the chainsaw. It seems like hydraulics, and it just pushes out. So hopefully by midsummer time, that red banana will look pretty good because it's got a pretty good size trunk on it. Hello from India. Wow, that's pretty cool. Gotta like a view. How are things in India? Are you staying safe over there? I'm guessing. I mean, I saw a guy doing a live stream from over there and it looked perfectly fine. Lots of people in the streets, everybody nice and happy, nice and warm, nice and tropical. Gotta like that. Yes, and I love East Indian food too. See, I could totally go for some East Indian curried food right now. How many of you guys like curry? I love curry. There's an East Indian food cart in town. We are safe here. That's what I thought. I thought you guys were safe there, because I saw a guy doing a live stream from there a few weeks ago, and basically they said people were dying in the streets, and it didn't look that way in the guy's video. He says, look at this, perfectly fine, cruising through the streets. Everybody looked happy. Their markets were going on, and life as usual in India. So I don't know. I'm glad you're doing okay over there. And now I'm getting hungry for some East Indian food. India, yeah, lots of palm trees in India. Tons of palm trees in India. And you got to remember, there's some pretty tropical places in India. Can you imagine walking through the jungles of India? Go as many native palms. I betcha they do. I don't know the exact species that are native to India, but I bet you there's some pretty cool ones. tropical ones that are not going to have a hope in heck here on Salt Spring Island. You got to remember, we are not a tropical climate. And I've had some people, you know, over the years, wow, tropical parts of Canada. It's like there's no tropical parts of Canada. There's no such thing as tropical in Canada, okay? We are Mediterranean-like climate here, and there are certain species of palms that do grow here. But what's Bavaria? Bavaria. I'm not too sure. Bavaria. What is it? Is it a type of palm, Michael? Variety. Don't know that one. Never heard of it. Huh. Must be cool though, I bet. I got a special palm coming, hopefully sooner than later, like I say. I already got the planting hole done for it, and I'm ready to put that thing in. As soon as I get that palm, it's going in. And like I say, hey, it's going good. Will, going great here. Beautiful day. Waiting for the sun to come around. It's still behind those big trees. Got to get these trees cut right here. They're blocking out my my noon sun. It would be baking hot right on this deck if they're gone. Kinda, all kinds of coconuts, dates, fans, chili, and wine. Wow. Oh, you got Jubea too, eh? Wow. Well, I mean, there's so many different climates in India too. I mean, India is a big country. So you go down to the very south and you go up to the very north, it's going to be different. Kind of like Italy. I bet you, yeah, India's got Trachycarpus palms too, right? And I mean, I'm sure all different types of palms will grow in India. You could probably grow most every species there. Just saw your last rain, your garden really. Oh, thanks, Will. Yeah, it really likes that rain. And like I say, even 6 millimeters of rain does the garden good. You can never water as good as it does the rain. I do have Trachycarpus, but my... Oh, you don't have Trachycarpus, okay. Well, we mostly have Trachycarpus palms, as you can see. And Trachycarpus palms absolutely love the climate. And there's no blemishing. I went to a garden this morning and I shot a video of a 20-foot tall Trachycarpus palm. I sold it to the original owners about 20 years ago as a small 1 gallon, and it's got fronds from top to bottom. So it's just a short video I shot because a friend of mine actually bought the place recently, and she messaged me and she wanted to know about the palm tree, what she should do to it. So the owner's still there, and he does nothing to the palm, absolutely zero, right? So that's some of the nicest specimens around are neglected. And these ones right here, you can see there's no browning on them. They're really in nice shape, nice and green. Have a Jubea. Yes, and we do have a Jubea. Michael, we do have a Jubea. It's one I grew from seed, and you've probably seen videos of it. But the seed, like I say, came from Switzerland. It might be too warm for some regions in India. I have seen a video. Florida. Yeah, some regions of India are just too tropical, I think, for Trachycarpus palms. But if you go to more northern, cooler regions of India, then I'm sure you probably would see Trachycarpus palms. It's kind of like when I go to Hawaii. You know, honestly, I've never seen a Trachycarpus palm tree in Hawaii. And I'm looking. Every time I'm looking for Trachycarpus palms and zero. So years ago, the very first time I went to Lion Arboretum, Jubea, very slow, yes. But you know, Michael, once they Himalayas have a lot of snow, yeah, and there's probably Trachycarpus up there, right? Well, we know there are. So anyway, my buddies' Jubeas seem to be growing a lot faster now that they've reached a bigger size, and they've been in the ground over 20-something years. And he's in Victoria. But what was I saying? Oh, so anyway, when I go to Hawaii, the very first time I went to Lion Arboretum, because they have a big palm collection there in Oahu, I think there's 600 species. I went and talked to the palm expert, Ray Baker, at the time, and he's probably, I don't even know if the guy's still alive. And, you know, I walked through all those gardens. It's about 196 or 198 acres of rainforest and palm trees. And I didn't see any Trachycarpus palms. I saw Camarops, I saw some sables, but I didn't see any Trachycarpus palms. So I asked Ray Baker, I said, where are the Trachycarpus palms? Joe, do you have a garden, Jubea? Do you have on? Yes, we do. We do, Michael. We have a Jubea chilensis in our garden that I grew from seed. We have one Jubea chilensis I grew from seed years ago, and the seed came from Locarno, Switzerland. My stepbrother is helping me with my issues. With your palm issues? Great. You got to have a stepbrother. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Anyway, back to Lion Arboretum. So I asked Ray Baker, the palm expert at Lion Arboretum, I think it's probably more than 15 years. It could be 17 years old. I'll shoot a video for you after and you can see how big it is. So he said they tried Trachycarpus a few times at Lion Arboretum in the Manoa Hills on the island of Oahu. And he says the 3 times they tried it, it failed. After the 3rd time it failed, it did not like that Hawaiian tropical climate. But yet, I remember one time I was there, they had planted this smaller Camerops humulus cerifera. And now it's huge. Camerops humulus cerifera thrives there. And also regular green Camerops humulus thrives there. And sables thrive there. But Trachycarpus, they don't like it. They thrive here on the Pacific coast of Canada, but they don't like the Hawaiian climate. Yeah, Michael, Jubea chilensis is the most cold-tolerant pinnate species of palm tree on the face of the earth. I do not know of any pinnate species feather palm that can endure more cold than Jubea chilensis. And Jeff, my buddy, Palm Society member in Victoria, probably around, minus 15, exactly. So my friend Jeff, Palm Society member, has 3 beautiful Jubea chilensis palms in his garden. And we were there in May, and you can see the video I posted on this channel. His Jubeas are superb. They're flawless. He doesn't give them any protection. Kiss the baby, Mike's in there. Good to see you in there. And there's one growing in Ganges too, but the one in Ganges on Salt Spring and Grace Point, definitely growing slower. I have Jubea, 4 leaves. Okay, yeah, they're very slow. Well, good thing you're still young, Michael, because at this age, my age, I can't be growing any more Jubea from seed because they just grow too slow for me. The one we planted on Salt Spring Island in 1999, also the Parajubea is beautiful. He has a nice Parajubea. And I have well, I'm not going to say what I got coming. So I got a nice special palm tree coming. And when it comes, Wendy will do a live stream here of me planting that palm tree right there. In that spot right there. That's where the palm tree is going to grow. I've already got it made out. And it's a really cool palm tree. Jeff has one in Victoria. And a friend of mine has one in Seattle. And it's doing very, very well. The Parajubea torellii. That's a high elevation palm native to the Andes Mountains, right? So they're not as hardy as Jubea. They're only hardy, I think, to maybe about minus 6 degrees Celsius. And minus 6 degrees Celsius is what? 21 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that, just over 20. When is the video coming? Well, when I get the palm. The video's coming when I get the palm tree. So no video, no palm tree, no video. And somebody's bringing it here for me. It's going to be delivered. So I have to wait till he goes back to the mainland because I ain't going to the mainland anytime soon. The mainland is very far from here, and it's a ferry ride away. And actually, I don't have any real reason to go to the mainland except to get that palm tree. I'm looking, yeah. So the one I'm getting is very big. I'm going to be getting a very large one soon. And that's, somebody already guessed what I'm going to be getting before in a video I shot. So I did have a smaller one in the garden, and unfortunately it was in a really bad spot, so I dug it out, and it's in a 5-gallon pot, and I put it back in the greenhouse, and I think I will probably plant it back out again. It's starting to recover. It was really stressed out from the dry weather last summer, and it went through the winter okay, but the trees around it were sucking the life out of it, the big native western red cedar trees. So they sucked the life out of the poor thing. How many miles are you from the mainland? I think about 23 miles, something like that, 25 miles. And it's by ferry boat, though, so it's expensive to get over there. And usually takes 3 hours. And I don't have 3 hours to sit on a ferry. That's the boat that gets you over there. Most of the time, it's 3 hours. Very rare you can get the hour and a half sailing. Rhopidophyllum hystrix is slow here too. And we have a lot of those in our garden, but yeah, they are slow. And a lot of people do grow them here, especially Palm Society members, but not really readily available in the nursery trade here. So if you can find a Rhopidophyllum hystrix, grab it. And one time I went into Home Depot several years back and they had a ton of them. I should have grabbed more. I grabbed 6. I grabbed 5. And then I found one at another nursery, and then I planted one about 18 years ago, I guess, something like that or more. Why does it take so long to get to the mainland? Because it's far by boat. Ferry boats don't go that fast. So it's a big ferry boat, holds lots of cars, and direct sailing is 1 hour and 30 minutes from Salt Spring Island to Tawasin, a ferry terminal I guess 15 miles south of Vancouver. Yes, Michael, it is the most cold hardy. It is the most cold hardy fan palm on the face of the earth. I call it the king of the frost beater, right? So anyway, yeah, Mike in Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's how long it takes, an hour and a half, direct sailing to get from our island to the ferry terminal, which is south of Vancouver, and then you still have to drive north to Vancouver. Okay, so our islands lie southwest of Vancouver. And like I say, if you look at the Washington State San Juan Islands, we are right by the San Juan Islands. Working for seedling 8 months. I have 3 seeds waiting for seedling. Oh, they're slow. You know what, Michael? They sometimes can take a year. Sometimes they can take up to a year to germinate. And I've had that happen with Rapidophyllum seeds. So they do appreciate bottom heat. Do you have to protect it, 7B, from 7B? Which one are you talking about, Will? Are you talking about Parajubea? Parajubea is basically a zone 9 palm long term. And even in this climate, when it gets a cold winter, it's going to have to be protected. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to probably hang some Christmas lights on if it gets ugly, and I'll have the Christmas lights on it, and if it gets ugly, I'll just plug them in because I don't really want to lose it. I mean, it's a nearly $500 palm. Rapidophyllum hystrix will work there. You should try it. Put it in a sunny spot, and it should do fine for you. Put it up against your house in a nice sheltered sunny spot, and I don't think you'll have a problem in zone 7B. If you're in the States, south of the Canadian border, of course, then you should be trying Rapidophyllum hystrix and sable minor in 7B. We have minus 12 protected sable, minus 12 degrees Celsius, which could be worse. Minus 12, I mean, some people have a lot colder temperatures than that. So, and you know, when it gets to minus 12, it does not hurt to protect any of those hardier palms. Gonna have to contact Robert. Yeah, none of the seeds. The seeds that I got from Robert Lackner. Oh, Robert Lackner. He's in, is that the guy in Austria? That's the one in Austria, right? He's the one that grows all the palms. I forget what town in Austria. Is that the guy? Robert Lackner? The Austrian palm grower, right? He's got a pretty amazing garden. And then there's another guy that lives in Czech Republic. Oh, you had lots of snow, eh? Yeah, well, you know what? The snow will not hurt the palm trees. But haven't met him. Yeah, no, I know of Robert Lackner. Under the snow, actually, Michael, snow is actually good if you get a lot of it on the palms because it'll insulate them. Yeah, live streams. Robert Lackner. And I don't, like I say, I don't know the city or town he's in Austria. I could probably find it in one of our Palm Society journals or maybe on the internet somewhere. But he's got a pretty amazing palm garden, which is really cool. And they get the heat. I think Austria gets a lot of heat because it is landlocked, right? So any of you guys in your landlocked places are going to get a lot more heat than we are out here on the islands. The islands, I mean, there's some nice warm pockets on Salt Spring Island in the summer months where they grow the olives and figs. Yep, snow is a very good protection for palm trees. If you have some palms buried under the snow, leave them that way. That's why Eskimos make igloos, right? Good insulation. But the winters can be harsh. Yes. Yeah, I guess, I mean, in 7B they can be. It's like southern Ontario. It can get pretty cold. Not minus. Yeah, it's milder in the snow, right? And plus the thing is, if you're getting cold winds, anything under the snowpack is going to be protected from it. So usually when we get snow here, it doesn't last very long. But, you know, I have seen winters where there's been snow on the ground for over a week easily. Sometimes there's snow kicking around on the ground. It says melting for 2 weeks after we've had a big dump of snow. And the worst snowfalls we get here, or is when you get this cold, dry air comes down from Alaska when she opens her doors up. So once every 10, 15 years, we get this really good cold blast. The problem is when the snow melts during the day and it freezes. Yes, that is actually harsh on it. So that's when you probably want to give them some help, right? You probably want to give them a little bit of protection. So Alaska opens her doors up, and Alaska is way far to the north. And this cold, dry air comes down and mixes with the warm, moist Pacific air, and that translates into white stuff, snow. And we here out on the islands can awfully get really dumped on, more than Vancouver, because we're on this island. And the worst winter I saw for snow was December 1996, 28.5 inches of snow. And I got pictures of our palm trees buried in it. And but nothing was damaged, nothing froze, but it was really a lot of snow. And I think the low temperature got down to around -7. We had one night of -7 degrees Celsius or something like that, which is cold. And your reminder, just a friendly reminder that we do live in the Great White North. We do live in Canada, and we are not on a tropical island, right? Even though we can grow all these nice palmy plants that kind of make it look kind of tropical, but we are not tropical. But like I say, if you mass plant and lots of broadleaf evergreens and palm trees, you can give yourself this, you can make an illusion, give this illusion that you are kind of in this tropical looking place. So when you look out of the windows of our place year round, it's always nice and palmy, right? Palmy. I wish it was balmy year round, but it's palmy year round, but it's not balmy year round because our winters are wet and cool. Yeah, I wish it was subtropical blast off, but we are definitely not subtropical. But you know what? You can make it appear to look that way. We can grow some subtropical plants here, but we are not subtropical. That's for sure. And I can dress like it's subtropical, but it ain't subtropical. You know what I mean? If I was living in a subtropical climate or a tropical climate, there's no doubt I'd be growing foxtail palms and royal palms, and I would be growing some really cool palm species. Like I love foxtail palms. That's what I grow because that's one of Wendy's favorite tropical palm is foxtail palm, and she really loves royal palms. And I like the talipot palms, those beautiful palms that die when they flower. There's a palm tree species, and I guess when it reaches 80 years of age, I think that's what it is, they send out these big, huge flowers off the center of them, and then they die, which is a shame. But the ventricosum survived in your climate, would we call it? Yeah, but he had it protected. He protected it, but it wasn't protected enough, and that's why it froze. The top of it must have froze. But the musabajus are absolutely stunning. There's huge musabaju bananas here, and most people I know don't even wrap the trunks, and they don't freeze. But Ensete ventricosum morillii is a pretty tender species, and I've grown it before. I was growing it long before I ever moved to Salt Spring Island, and I had it in a big planter. And I'd put it out in the front garden and I'd chop all the leaves off and I'd bring it into the house and store it in this back, cool, dark, well, it wasn't dark. It wasn't a lot of light either, but I'd store it in this back room of our house. And in the spring, I'd take the palm or the banana back out and it just got too big to move. So I ended up planting it in the ground when I sold the place and I just left it there. So it's long gone dead, guaranteed. It's gone dead. And I took all the palm trees out of my last garden and moved them with me. I didn't want to leave any palm trees there. There's some little ones I left, little dinky ones, so I don't know if they're still there or the people might have ripped them out. They were more into horses and farming, and the last place I lived was 5 acres, just over 5 acres, so they were horse people that bought it. And a lot of times horse people aren't so much into gardening. They're more into their horses and all that stuff, so I don't think they cared about all the stuff I had there, but I had a lot of really cool exotic plants in that garden that I planted decades ago. And I know the redwoods are still there. I took my yuccas. I left a couple of smaller yuccas. And I planted really nice China fir, dogwoods, bamboo. I had a lot of bamboo there. And Mediterranean fan palms, I left some of those. They're probably dead. It was 8A, 8B. And the metasequoia I left, and I think that's a big tree now. So I should go back there and check it out sometime. I have a trithronic. Oh, cool. Yeah, we have one of those. I should go to the front. I'm going to go to the back of the house and show you. And tell me, Michael, if your Trithronyx campestris looks like what I believe ours is a Trithronyx campestris. I grew them from seed. So my friend Jeff in Victoria, he's got Trithronyx acanthocoma. Trithronyx acanthocoma, I think that's what it is. And he planted it over 20 years ago in his garden, and it's big. The trunk on it is amazing, and it's full of these spines. So let's show you what we have here. And hopefully the live stream doesn't die out because I'm getting far from the router again. So I'm going to sit down here. It's way warmer down here. It's nice. Okay, Michael, tell me if your Trithronyx looks like that. Does this look like a Trithronyx? I sure hope it is a Trithronyx, or maybe it's a Sereno repens or something, but I was thinking more Trithronyx. What do you think? Does that look like a Trithronyx to you? It's small. What do you think? Trithronyx? Yeah, Trithronyx, his is very nice. Very, very nice. Does that look like a Trithrinax to you? There's a queen palm there, Cygris romanzophianum. You can see the bananas in the distance there. So I don't know. I have another one in the greenhouse too. So we'll see how this does in the wintertime. It's always been in an unheated greenhouse. And does that look like it? Oh, thanks, Michael. Okay, so there we go. Trithrinax. These are the ones I grew from seed. And so far it's hanging in there. And we'll keep you updated on it. Hopefully it survives the winter. I planted it spring or late winter. I got a video of when I planted it. And we'll see how it does. Let me sit on this stump here. Sit on this stump. And we'll give you a nice view of some palm fronds above us there. So, and the strawberry trees are coming back nicely. Those are the ones they cut down. They're coming back. I'm sitting on the eucalyptus stump they cut down. And you can see the fatsias behind me. There's lots of fatsias. They're all over the place. And there's some timber bamboo down there. So I'm glad for you to say that that's a Trithrinax. So they're very hardy palm. And I know they're pretty hardy. I mean, not pretty hardy. They should stand up to our climate, I think, if I can give it a bit of protection if it gets totally ugly. See this plant right here? There's Trachycarpus nova cross wagnerianus right there. Nova cross wagnerianus I got from Jeff in Victoria. So his it crossed with his nova crossed with the waggy palm. So thanks, Michael, for the identification. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, I got a nicer one in the greenhouse in a pot. I'm going to go sit in the sun. And yeah, I'm so happy about the chainsaw trachea. Isn't that awesome? I mean, it was a real shame that they cut that palm down, but look at how fast that thing's growing. That's just absolutely amazing. And I'm really happy with this plant too. This is an evergreen plant, super exotic, super rare. And I got the name written down. I got it from a local friend of mine here. And it's going to be a really cool tropical tree like a Schefflera, but not a Schefflera. It's a type of Aurelia. That's what it is, type of Aurelia. So we'll keep you updated on that. What does that say? Yeah, this is just from the wintertime. This was cut down in February. This palm was cut down with a chainsaw on February 12th when they cut down that 40-foot eucalyptus tree. And look at how much it's grown back. Right down to that little stump. This was a beautiful palm. So it's going to be a little bit shorter than it was, but it's coming. It's growing, thank God. It was really upsetting when they cut that down, and I'm just so happy that palm is growing. And I think it's going to be a beautiful palm by late summer. It's going to have a bunch of fronds on it. It's opening more fronds. There's another spear. The spear's coming out of it. These are just petioles with no fronds, and they ran the chainsaw through it. So it was a shame that they did that. I would never cut down a palm with a chainsaw. Don't do that. You do not cut down palm trees with chainsaws. Not cool, right? It's not the right type of tree to be cutting down with a chainsaw. You're supposed to cut down oak trees and make mugs out of them like Michael did. So anyway, let me get back here where the tree fern is and sit in the sun. Oh, thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. Here's a needle palm here. That's a needle palm right there, Rhopidophyllum hystrix. And then I'll show you the other ones here. Hang on. I will show you something. My camera's got some winter damage. Pull the spear and it's just pushing. Oh, cool. Well, at least it's pushing out. I had camera up survive 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit at my last location, which was pretty amazing. So there's needle palm there in the full sun, nice size one. And there's a nice clump of them right down there. So that's the latest one I planted. I've had that for quite a few years, but I decided to put it in the ground and it's doing very well. So what is the current temperature there? I don't know. Somebody asked me that before. I think it was around 18 or 19, something like that when I started this live stream, but that's in the shade. But it feels a lot warmer in the sun. In the sun, it's definitely not a true temperature, but it feels a lot warmer. Florida. Cool. Gotta like Florida. I've only been there once. In 96, I was in Florida. I'm gonna put my feet up here. I should be using Michael's mug to be drinking a cold beer here. There's a better view for you, the tree fern. Right there. So it, like I say, it soaked up that rain we had last night, and it's a happy camper. And then there's the Trachycarpus latisectus there. We have a couple latisectus, and we have Martinez. There's Camarops there, and then there's some date palms. You see the date palms here and here. And B&B's been really slow this year. I know she's starting to get some bookings now, but this is the B&B sun deck I'm on right now. And usually guests are sitting here relaxing, but they're not here right now, so I'm relaxing. How hardy is Dicksonia compared to Jubea? Oh, way less cold hardy. That is a zone 9 plant right there you're looking at, Dicksonia antarctica. That's going into its 28th year. I planted it in April 1994, and there's the trunk on it right there. You see that? That a beauty? That is a big tree fern. It's looking pretty good. What do you think? Huh? Nice sized trunk and pretty healthy looking plant. So I water that when it's dry, like pretty much every day. I'm watering it, and you've seen my videos. I water it through the top of the crown. I water down the trunk, and the trunk, like I say, is made up of roots, right? So, and then we have smaller ones in the garden too, and we have some Australian tree ferns, which are even less hardy. Tree ferns look, yeah, they are pretty cool plants. And there's a nice palm for you to try right there, guys. That's a really hardy palm right there. That's Chamaedorea radicalis, okay? So you want a nice hardy palm? Chamaedorea radicalis. Don't have to worry about that one in winter here either. Tough as nails, and it's proven itself fully hardy. Dwarf, I think they call that one a dwarf parlor palm or something. What do we got here? Gonna move somewhere warm. Cool. I looked many years, right? My buddy grew his from seed, Michael, his Trithrinax canthocoma, and then I grew 2 from seed as well, and I have another one in a pot I'm going to plant in the garden. I only got 2 of them, so I'm going to put one in a nice sheltered spot, and I'm not expecting it to be long-term, but who knows? If it gets really cold, I can put a bucket over it or something like that. Maybe the key is to keep it dry in the wintertime. See, the problem here, the winters are wet and cool, and that puts a lot of stress on some plants, palms from drier climates. So if you can keep them dry, you can make them hardier. But yeah, dampness and coolness together is not a good combination for growing some of these exotic palm trees, right? So like Washingtonia flifera, a nice hardy palm in a dry, cool climate, but not up here. It ain't. Have you tried? Oh, we got lots. Bambusa, no. We have lots of Phyllostaches. Oh, we might have Sambusa. I don't know. I don't think so. That's more tropical, isn't it? Subtropical. We have a lot of bamboo. I'm going to show you something. We have tons of bamboo. I don't even know how many species of bamboo. This is a bamboo forest down here. This is all bamboo forest. Down here, understory, there's palms, southern magnolias, all bamboo, all the way to down there with eucalyptus trees sticking out. Chicusia gigantea died. It went to flower, unfortunately. Sasapalmata. There's Phyllostaches bambuzoidea in there. Bori nigra, Pseudosassa japonica, Frigicii. Cool, -8. Pretty rare that we'd ever get -8 here, but it could happen. In a bad winter, it can happen. Hi, all from Alabama. I gotta love Sweet Home, Alabama. Boreana, it looks. Yeah, we have Bori nigra, which is a Dalmatian bamboo. It's like a bamboo with black spots on it. And we have Phyllostaches aureosilicata, a couple different types of that. Hennin, we have Hennin bamboo, or Vivax. We have Vivax. I don't think we have any Hennin. I tried Mozo, and I moved it, and I put it in a dry spot, and it doesn't look like it came up. There's another guy here who's got a lot of Mozo bamboo in his garden, but ours kind of petered out, so I'm going to have to try some more if I can get some. Apparently his place is for sale, the Bamboo Ranch. He's selling it. So he's selling off a lot of his bamboo. He's a bamboo nut, like I'm a palm nut, right? So there's the Bamboo Society, and then there's the Palm Society. So he's been a member of the Bamboo Society forever. Even his license plates say bamboo. And I love bamboo. A lot of people are afraid of it because they think it's going to take over their garden. But if you have poor, dry, rocky soil like us here at this end of the island, it ain't going to take over your garden. If you got clay soil or good soil, it could take over your garden, right? So let it take over our garden. I'll just dig it out and sell it. Boy, it's nice and warm here. I should be using those mugs, Michael. Wendy whipped to town. I should actually grab one of Michael's mugs he sent and pour a nice cold drink in it. That's what I need. And if you can hear the birds, I'll shut my mouth for a minute and you can listen. Can you hear the birds? I like palm. Yeah, I'm same. I like palms better than bamboo too. But I love bamboo, don't get me wrong, and I think bamboo looks good with palm trees. Just mow over the Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's what I do in one of the parks. Will there's a bunch of bamboo growing in Peace Park. There's vivax, I think, growing in there, and I run over the new shoots with the lawnmower. But I've taken some of that vivax out and planted in our own garden, so it's growing here. We got vivax. Oh, we have so many different species of bamboo on our property here. Got a beautiful clump in the back 40. Yeah, there's lots of robins here. Oh, you like bamboo better? Farm. You could. So, and a lot of bamboo's edible too, Will, the shoots. You can eat the shoots. I have Bismarck. Oh, cool. 8 months does not grow. Bismarckia, one time I went to a nursery, Michael, and this is years ago, in the 1980s, late 1980s, and they had all these Bismarckia palms, really cheap, 5 gallon. So I bought one. And then I had it for about a year in the pot, and then I planted it outside, and it died the first winter. That was at my last location. It died the first winter. I like to experiment. I was a bit of a plant sadist in my younger days, and it was a beautiful palm tree. I love Bismarckia, and that's another palm tree I really wish I could grow. Oh, you like palms better. Okay, I thought you said you like bamboo better. I like palms better than bamboo. I like bamboo too, yeah. You know what? I like all plants. It doesn't matter if it's an oak tree. I like all plants. It's just in our garden we like to stick with more evergreen plants and exotic plants, right? That's our theme, and even our B&B is Hawaiian themed. So when people check in here, it is a Hawaiian themed B&B. So when you step out into the garden, I mean, you'll see like tikis and you'll see lots of palm trees, and it is kind of like you feel like we've had people from Hawaii stay at our B&B, and it kind of gives you the feeling that you are somewhere different when you are here. And it is toasty on this deck right now. Yeah, I like all plants. All plants are good. I mean, some don't really work in our garden, so I don't bother with them, but they look good in other landscapes, right? So, and even deciduous plants. I'm not much into plants that lose their leaves, even though we have a few. Wendy loves maples. Wendy loves Japanese maple trees, so that's her thing. If I wasn't with Wendy, I would probably have 0 Japanese maples in the garden, but Wendy loves them, so she plants them, and we have some really beautiful Japanese maples. But and then that dogwood is nice too, the native dogwood, right there, because the flowers on it are spectacular. It's like when you're growing plants, you do get addicted. It is an addiction, but you know what? Growing plants is a good addiction. There's a lot worse things we could be addicted to, right? So it's a great hobby, and especially when younger people get into growing palm trees and exotic plants. I think it's an awesome hobby. It's a healthy hobby, right? Like, I mean, I've never really met anybody that are into gardening. There's very few that I don't like. Like, all you people are just really good people. I started with growing mangoes, avocados from seeds. Went cool, good for you, Will. Well, you know the story with me and exotic plants, right? Japanese maples grow here too. Yeah, and they're nice plants. Wendy has some beautiful, beautiful Japanese maples in the garden, and that makes her happy. So if that makes her happy, that's a good thing. And you know what? This garden is so much better when Wendy came into the picture. We've been together for about 10 years now. And my last wife, my ex-wife, a great gal, I was just talking to her yesterday. She appreciated the gardens, but not so much of a big gardener. She appreciated them, but she wasn't into gardening. Wendy is a big time gardener. Wendy loves exotic gardens, and she even had lots of palm trees at her last garden as well. So when Wendy came to this garden, she made it so much better by adding a lot more color, because I was just more into foliage. See, behind me, foliage. I'm a foliage gardener. I don't really care too much about color, and Wendy's more into the color thing. So she's added lots of flowers and rhodos and this and camellias and that. And you walk through this garden, and it's just like 100 times better now that Wendy has come into the picture. It was kind of like a boring exotic garden when I had it. Lots of palm trees, and a lot of other trees she cut down. I had a lot more Douglas fir and stuff like that, native trees. Wendy removed those and then planted other things in place of them, right? I was just... Yeah, I love green things too. Thanks, Blastoff. Yeah, no, Wendy's a great gal. We get along good, and she's even friends with my ex-wife too, which is good. My grandma put some flowers in between. Well, that's okay. You know what I mean? And I do like flowers. It is nice to walk through the garden and see color. And I really love her fuchsias. I really love Wendy's. She's got these beautiful fuchsias in the garden. And you know why I like the fuchsias? Because it attracts hummingbirds. And I love hummingbirds. So our garden has a lot of hummingbirds year round. They're buzzing around the different plants she has blooming in the garden. There's always something blooming in our garden year round. So even on a winter day, you're going to see hummingbirds out there at the flowers. And they love the Fatsia flowers. They love, in the wintertime, they love the Sericococa flowers. And spring through fall, they love the fuchsia flowers. And fuchsias are blooming now. And if you want hummingbirds, plant some fuchsias. And we have grevilleas too. Grevilleas really attract the hummingbirds. And you know what? You can never have enough hummingbirds in your garden. They're like the coolest little birds to have in your garden. I think one was in our house last week. Wendy took it out. There was a couple birds in our house last week. And when I shot a video once, she opened up the window and it went out. You open up the French doors and they come flying in. I guess they think the grass is greener on the other side. So they got to check out the inside of our house. And once they get in, they can't get out. So you got to kind of catch them. I have a net to get up in the upper windows, and then we let them out. So it is feeling pretty toasty out here, and I'm doing some lounging. See, I'm doing a little lounging here. And I think pretty soon I'm going to have to go to the upper deck and grab me a drink. Not sure we have. I wonder if you have hummingbirds there. You know what? Will, there are no hummingbirds in Hawaii. I found that out. There are no hummingbirds on the Hawaiian Islands. That is so weird. Yet there's so many tropical flowers there that they would probably love, but no hummingbirds. There's bees, but no hummers, which is really strange, huh? And yet we have them here year round. We have anise is here year round. Anise hummingbirds. Rufus go south. But the anise are here year round, even on a winter day. Christmas Day, you can see hummingbirds here, and they're just beautiful, the colors on them. So I'm hoping this live stream is going to last at least for an hour, and the battery doesn't die on me. I thought, why is no hummingbirds. Google it. Somebody there that lives there says, Joe, there's no hummingbirds in Hawaii. So I've never seen a hummingbird. I've been to Hawaii, over 24 times. Import them, yeah, no kidding, eh? They'd probably like it there. They could import me. I wouldn't mind living there. It'd be awesome. Yeah, Google that. See if there's hummingbirds in Hawaii, because somebody told me there's no hummingbirds. And all the times I've been there, never seen a hummingbird. So it's kind of weird, isn't it? There's a lot of other things that are cool in Hawaii. They got some really neat birds there, but you figured they'd have those flying around with all the exotic tropical flowers for them to enjoy. But nope, zero hummingbirds. I thought they'd be in Austria too. And you figure in Canada, God, why is there hummingbirds way up here in the Great White North? But you know what else they like? They like the fuzz off of the new fronds that unfurl on our tree fern. The hummingbirds absolutely love the new fuzz on those things. And they use them for their nests. Wendy has a hummingbird nest. So she's got it in her gallery. It's just so, have you ever seen a hummingbird nest? They're so tiny. I've only seen one once with baby hummingbirds in it when I was a kid. I was probably about 12 years old. And the neighbors across the street had one in one of their planters, hanging baskets. It's like, there's a hummingbird nest in there. It's like the coolest thing. Super, super tiny. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining in this live stream. It's really nice of you. And Wendy, like I say, has gone to town to get some blueberries or strawberries. She's making, we have guests coming over. Friends are coming over soon. And we're going to sit out on the sun deck and have some strawberry shortcake. It's one of the websites because Hawaii is isolated as an island because they... Oh, cool. Okay, so the Hawaiian Islands are farthest from land. They're the islands that are the most remote on the face of the earth, right? They're farthest any other island from land, right? So the Hawaiian Islands. That's why I like to go there. Don't ask me when I'm going to go there next, though. Maybe when all the stuff blows by and there's no more of the stuff going around in the world, this flu-like symptoms, I will go back to Hawaii. But until then, I'm going to have to relax here on our island, and I will go over to the big island, which is Vancouver Island. Hopefully early July, we will head over to Port Renfrew on the west coast and go to Avatar Grove, and I'll shoot a video there of Avatar Grove where the 2,000-year-old trees are growing. There's some really old trees apparently at Avatar Grove, so we'll go check it out. And there are palm trees and exotic plants, but not as many in Port Renfrew. They could easily grow there, but it's a really tiny little hick town on the far west coast, about same latitude as Salt Spring Island. I think it's pretty close to the same latitude as us. And it's about an hour and 30 minutes drive from here, something like that, hour 40, right straight across to the west coast. And we'll go to, there's a beach there called Botanical Beach, and then of course there's Avatar Grove too. So a super cool place to visit when you're on the west coast of Canada. If you like beaches and you like exotica, check it out. Make sure, if you ever come to Canada, check out the west coast. You will like the west coast. And make sure to visit Vancouver. Because Vancouver, if you like palm trees and you're in the north and you want to see palm trees this far north, Vancouver there's a lot of palm trees and a lot of exotic plants all up and down the southwest coast of British Columbia. Oh, it's toasty out here right now. Pretty soon I'm going to have to move to the shade. And try out one of Michael's mugs that he sent us. Who do we got? White with dreamy eyes. Hey, what do you think of the sneaky weasel video there, Dave? It's funny, when we're in the park in the morning, one of the guys out, do you grow? Yes, we have olives. And there's actually an olive farm here too, Will. They have over 3,000 olive trees. We have a commercial olive farm on our island. They make olive oil here on Salt Spring Island. Beautiful olives. Sable Brazoria, very beautiful. Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad they're doing well. Give them the heat. They definitely like the heat. I transplanted a bunch of those or it was 2 weeks ago I transplanted. I got to do some of those tomorrow too. I'll be back into the nursery. I love the sneaky weasels. Whenever we're in the park, we say we're looking for sneaky weasels. And that's a really cheap beer, an IPA. I think it's brewed somewhere in BC. You can Google it. It is a cheap beer, $7.99 for a 6-pack. I actually drink them. Having a Bowen Island. Okay, cool. Don't olives. Yep, they're in the warm spot of Salt Spring Island, where they get lots of 30 plus degree Celsius days, and they harvest olives. There's 3,000 olive trees there of about 8 different varieties. Do you have no big Sable Brazoria here? I don't know of any big Sable Brazoria cross Brazoriensis on our coast here. But anyway, yes, Mike in Pennsylvania. There's lots of people here that grow olives, and there's sufficient heat on Salt Spring Island for commercial olives, commercial figs, and wineries. We have commercial wineries here as well, right? So, yeah, the olives are amazing. When I went by I go by the olive farm every week, right? I drive past the olive farm. Do you know who's? No, I don't. Bring that back. The sun is like, I got to get this way. Got to get more this way. The sun is glaring into the screen here, into Wendy's camera screen. Go here and there, that way. Anyway, there's 8 varieties of olives growing at the olive farm, and the owners are really nice people, and I've been to the olive farm many times. I've got many videos of the olive farm, and there's actually an olive oil processing plant at the olive farm. So the oil, you know what? You can see it at Olive Farm, Salt Spring Island Olive Farm, or the Olive Farm on Salt Spring Island. They have a website, Olive Farm on Salt Spring Island. There's also an olive farm on Pender Island, and there's an olive farm on Saturna Island, but the biggest olive farm on the Gulf Islands here is on Salt Spring Island, located on the south end of Salt Spring, on the slopes heading down into the Burgoyne/Fulford Valley. Gonna have to check. Yeah, check out. We have olive videos here. Lots of olive farm videos here. And I was there one day. I stopped in there about to harvest. So they harvested early last year in October, late October. We just got 3. Oh, cool. Yeah, we have a lot of olive trees in our garden here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We might have 8 olive trees in our garden, something like that. Lucino. Cool. Yeah, those ones sound familiar too. Yeah. We get some olives. I don't do anything with, we only grow them as ornamental here in our garden. I'm Italian. I should be doing something out of the olives, right? But I don't do anything. I just kind of let them fall off the trees. And they're the most disgusting things to ever eat on a tree, right? If you ever pick an olive off a tree, it is gross. I was at the olive farm one time doing a video, and I tried one. It was not good. No, we don't use the olives here. Cycas, do we have any new leaves? Not yet. I'm really sad about the ones growing in front of the B&B. Wendy was watering them too much, and the drainage holes aren't good enough in there, and they're not looking good. Yeah, no, I don't use the olives on our tree. I just grow them because I like having an olive tree. You know what I mean? I think the trees themselves are just beautiful. But the ones in the olive farm are so manicured and so beautiful, and they look so nice when you drive by with the green foliage and silvery underneath. Just a really beautiful farm. If you're ever on Salt Spring Island, you have to see the olive farm. And right across the street from it are all the commercial vineyards. And Put it this way, when it's 22 degrees Celsius here, it's 30 plus Celsius there. They get lots of more heat units where that grows. You can just put them into salt water and keep them. Oh, is that right? Hey, cool. So soak them in brine. Yeah, that's the key, right? My cousin would make salted black olives, and they're really good. So they're dried and salted. And I remember she gave me some bags of them. Oh, so good. I love olives. A lot of people cannot stand them, but I absolutely love olives. Can never have enough olives, right? Actually, I like the green ones with pimentos in them too. Those are really good too. Or the big black ones, or the big green ones, or they stuff them with garlic. You can get garlic stuffed olives, which are good. I'm gonna have to get out of the sun soon. It's getting too warm for me here. I think it's time to move on and go to the upper sun deck, and then I'm gonna cut this thing pretty short soon too. I've been going for an hour on this live stream. So let me just get out of here and get a drink. I'm gonna try one of Michael's mugs. What do we say here? I can't see it, it's in the sun. I'm gonna miss it. Olives, love olives. I'll show you one of our olive trees, but it's too far away. So this guy's ready to bloom soon too. You see this tree? Black olives are actually green ones. Oh, cool. Right on. Well, they're good. I love the black olives. So the green ones are not ripe. So anyway, this tree is about to bloom soon. And this is a really beautiful exotic tree that I grew from seed years ago. Heteromeles arbustifolia. Can you say that? And that one gets such nice white flowers on it. It's a beautiful broadleaf evergreen tree. Really nice shape too. And it's getting a lot more sun now that the eucalyptus tree. So I'm really sad about this sago palm. So these sago palms we've had out on this deck for years. And I was letting these things, I got to dry out. Wendy's been watering them like crazy. And I says, no, you cannot water these too much because the drainage on the bottom, it must be plugged up. And I don't know, I have a bad feeling that they're just waterlogged. So I'm letting them dry out. Now I'm going to put that a little bit closer under the overhang. This one's hanging out. So that one's better than this one. This one was getting way too much water from her watering it. And I said, do not water this sago palm anymore. Okay, we got to let this thing dry out and hopefully it doesn't decline because these stay out here year round. I just wrap the pots with bubble wrap. That one's okay right there, but these ones are looking really yellow and I'm not happy with it. So hopefully they don't perish. Yellow leaves. Yeah, so here's the Australian tree ferns in here. And they got to watch these things. They dry out so fast. So I really got to keep on top of the watering on the Australian tree ferns. And I think that's the problem. Wendy was watering them a lot. Too much. I says, one day I came out here and she's pouring the water to them. I says, no, do not water those sagos. Do not water those sago palms. They don't like that. Anyway, I want to show you something here. So this is a palm tree right here that a chunk of eucalyptus fell on and crushed. It flattened it. It looked like it was dead. And look at the growth coming out on it now. Still got fronds. It flattened all the fronds. When they were logging, they dropped a eucalyptus. These big round of eucalyptus crushed that palm. And now it's coming back. And I replanted a Mexican orange there that also broke. There's a bunch of things that broke. Here's bay tree. This is what you got to try to grow bay. There's a nice tree to grow in your Mediterranean garden, folks. Laurus nobilis. We have some really big ones in our garden. They are beautiful trees, and you can use them in your cooking, right? So cooking bay is a beautiful plant. They flower here, and just really nice. The deer don't eat them, and they're super drought tolerant. And Wendy's always pinching this one. That's why it's so thick. So let me get up here. I'm going to show you some vivax, if I can get in here. Here's some vivax bamboo, right? You can see here, this is timber bamboo. Oranges, we have kumquats, and we have lemons and limes. We have lemons and limes, kumquats. I'll show you the kumquat. It stays out pretty much all winter, except the coldest days I do bring it in. I'll show you. Follow me. Follow me, folks. Kumquat is here. Poor thing suffered. It got dried out, so got to keep it watered well. So there is a kumquat tree right there, right? Nice little guy. And you know, kumquats are pretty tough. They're actually pretty tough little trees. They can take temperatures down below 20 degrees. Just put them in a sheltered spot. But because that's in a pot, I don't want to risk it, and I don't want it to freeze. Remember, folks, plants in pots are less cold tolerant, right? So if the pot freezes solid, they're toast. Is it a vivax mercurial? I'm not too sure. Somebody gave me this years ago. I dug it out of their garden. They didn't want it. He didn't like the bamboo. He bought the place. There was this bamboo there, and I dug it out, and it's doing really well here. Yeah, kumquats are sour, but I like them. I do like the taste of them. I suppose, I got to show you the bottle brush now. Bottle brush is doing awesome. We got a bunch of bottle brush that I grew from seed years ago. So, beautiful flowers. Look at that. Another one you should try. This is smaller ones. Bees love them. Some of them are just about done. So this bottle brush and these bigger ones are just about done. Here, you can see the flowers on these bottle brush. Here's an olive tree here. This one's doing really well. Nice evergreen. That's what I like. That's why I like them, because they're evergreen, right? And yeah, they're pretty exotic looking. But anyway, here's the bottle brush right here. So here's a white bottle brush, and the bees, like I say, love it. And then here's the red one. It's not blooming yet. We got a bunch of red ones, and we got some yellowy white ones. Those ones I grew from seed years ago. Years ago I grew those. The oleander's coming back nicely that Wendy cut back. And then there's a Camarops there. You know, years ago, I dug that Camarops out of a garden. They didn't want it. And I said, you know, just leave the thing. It's fine. No, we don't want the Camarops in there. It's too close to the building. So I dug the thing out. The main trunk died, and I knew that would probably happen. But that's all the suckers that have come back in that Camarops. So our bottle brush depends where you live. You know what? This one here, maybe not so hardy. This is Pallidus. This one, I believe, is Pallidus. Clistman Pallidus. Look up the hardiness on it. You'd have to look it up. I'm going to say 20 degrees, maybe a little bit lower than 20 degrees, maybe 18 degrees. And correct me if I'm wrong. You can look it up and see the hardiness on it. So let's say 18 degrees, and it survived that, because that Yeomanii, that Eucalyptus Yeomanii survived the freeze of 2008. And it got down to about 18.1 degrees here, that's pretty cold, man. And then there's the Yucca, not elephantipes. It used to be elephantipes. They're gigantea, right? Yucca gigantea, which is a really nice yucca with some Gloriosa superba growing below it, right? So we're going to the courtyard again. It feels much better in the shade. Much better in the shade. So like I say, if you're ever on Salt Spring Island, you know, look us up and I give you a garden tour. And then I can show you the whole garden. Oh, wait, I have some bottle brush. Oh, cool. Oh, right on. Well, try them in your garden, Will. You definitely got to try them. They are super cool plants, and there's a lot of different species of bottle brush. I got the seed. A friend of mine gave me the seed for those ones, and it came from New Zealand tree seeds, right? So that's where he got the seed from. So I grew a ton of them from seed years ago, and you know what? They're very drought tolerant. That's what I like about bottle brush. Super drought tolerant plants. And here, being on a well, we're on well water. We really got to watch the watering situation. Otherwise, you know, the well runs dry. We're out of water, we're out of luck, man. And we're trying to run a B&B and a nursery, and using that well water to keep the nursery alive, and B&B guests happy too. Hard to take a shower when you don't have water, right? It feels really nice in the shade. It really does. So anyway, I don't know much longer I'm going to go here, folks. I'm going to probably call it quits soon. And I think I'm going to go down into the nursery, and I have to transplant some monkey puzzle trees. I got those 3 that I've showed you before. I got these 3 little monkey puzzle tree seedlings, about this big. I grew them from seed that a friend of mine gave me. And the problem is, I have them sitting in the windowsill of the house, and they dry out way too fast. So I'm going to put them, I think, into 4-inch pots. So that's the next thing. Gonna send you some Austrian trachea seeds. Okay, cool. Okay, you do that, and I will ship you some Salt Spring Island trachea seeds. No, better yet. Are yours starting to flower? Are yours flowering now, or not? I'm curious. Are they flowering, or are you waiting for them to grow up to flower? I better go. Okay, you take care. White with dreamy eyes. Have a great day, and cheers to you. Cheers and beers. And good to see you in there, as usual. I'll try to do a live stream tomorrow, maybe on one of my channels, right? God, you lose track sometimes. Like, this is not my channel. Okay, not yet, but they will. They will. This is not my channel. You know that. This is Wendy's channel. She's left me in charge of this live stream while she's gone. Growing strong. Oh, good. Well, they should do good for you. And you have to love. I have palms in the garden from Germany. And somebody went to Germany and collected me some seeds once. Croatia. Yeah, I have some from Slovenia. Nice. Yeah. Cheers and beers. Yeah, I have some from Slovenia. I have some from the Netherlands. God, I got palms from all over the place. Bulgaria. We have Bulgaria. We have Bulgarian one flowering right now. And then I got another big one. I got several Bulgarian in the garden. And they're a nice hardy palm too. Nice hardy, I'm going to say eco type of Trachycarpus. We know they're not native to Bulgaria, but they've withstood some pretty cold temperatures in Bulgaria, right? So anyway, there you go. So if you can get a Bulgarian Trachycarpus palm for your garden, go for it if you live in a colder climate. And I got those from Kirill many moons ago, long before Facebook came around. It was before Facebook, definitely. I think it was maybe 2005, something like that. So maybe not long before, but shortly before Facebook. And he was on the Hardy Palm and Subtropical Forum and emailed, and then we traded some seed. Would be interesting to isolate all those flowers. Yes, Will. That would be an Australian strain of Trachy. And track grows. Yes. Yeah, that's true. For sure. Throw some around on your property too. Like I do in the back 40, right? I'm going to go down there tomorrow and throw some more seed around. That's what I got to do. Definitely got to throw some more seed around and get it growing. So anyway, guys, I better roll soon because, this is a really long live stream and I know you guys got things to do. It's later, getting later in some of these areas where it's 1:30 p.m. Pacific time here on the Gulf Islands. And like I say, it's beautiful. It's nice in the shade. I actually feel better in the shade than I did in the sun. I was actually starting to get too warm sitting there. So there's a little bit of an ocean breeze, there. And it's just an all-around really nice day here on Salt Spring Island. We'll stand under this Fatsia. 22:30. Yeah, you guys are about 9 hours. I think you guys are about 9 hours ahead of us, something like that. So there's a nice shot of a Fatsia. Nice Fatsia tree right there. And then there's another Fatsia tree there. We have a lot of Fatsias here. So that's another nice plant you guys should be trying in your gardens is Fatsia japonica, right? Fatsia japonica is a really beautiful tree to grow. I'll stand under the arbutus. Look at that arbutus tree. Isn't that nice? That is an awesome native tree. That is my favorite. That's my favorite native tree right there. It's just beautiful. Right behind me. Look at that. Got the sun shining right over my head. Kind of like that, eh? It looks like it's right on the top of my head. And grab that sun. Look at that. It's it's a pretty wild garden with no plant in any particular order, right? And here's the jasmine. When this stuff starts blooming, we'll do a video of it. The jasmine vines are absolutely amazing. Like I say, they grow all through this bamboo here. And this bamboo is really tall. I don't know the species of it. I planted it years ago, but this stuff is so fragrant. So try jasmine too. Jasmine vines are awesome. They smell so good. You come out here and it smells like Hawaii. So I recommend jasmine. That's missed it. Yeah, the sun's shining on this silly screen. So anyway, guys, I'm going to say cheers to all of you guys. You just wander through the garden and find... Yeah, we have so many plants in our garden. I could not even tell you how many plants we have in our garden. And this garden is really big, right? It is a massive garden. So it takes over an hour to walk through our garden. Probably, I'm going to say the last time somebody came here for a garden tour is like probably about an hour and 20 minutes or so to get through the whole garden and look at everything. Because there's a lot of things to see in this garden. And it stretches a long way. It stretches 330 something feet one way, and then it stretches hundreds of feet the other way. So there's, you have no idea how many plants are in this garden. It's all plants and no grass, right? This is the surface. We have rocks here. These are pea gravel, right? Pea gravel on the ground. So it never gets muddy, right? We're up on rock. And it's always clean, right? It always stays clean, and it's very low maintenance up here in this courtyard. Extremely low maintenance. Show you the kiwis. The kiwis are growing like weeds over there. You see the kiwis and the palm trees growing up through the kiwis, right? And these are all kiwi vines here. They're just growing like crazy. There's more bamboo up there, and there's more palms up at the tiny house on the other side as well. Anyway, guys, like I say, I better go. I think I'm going to have a drink in one of Michael's mugs that he sent. Are you building soil? Yes, we are. Wendy, I'll tell you what I do. Because I work for the Parks Department, and when I mow the parks lawns in town, I bring home garbage buckets full of grass clippings, leaves, whatever I mulch up with a lawnmower, and sometimes I'll bring 6 or 8 bucketfuls of garbage cans, Rubbermaid garbage cans, of grass clippings, and Wendy throws them all over the gardens. So what she's been doing over the years is building up soil. She's been making soil here. Wendy's done it all. She's totally responsible for it. So, I mean, look at this. There's the grass clippings rotting down here, and you get earthworms in here. It's just awesome. It really is. That's going to bloom here. The bear's breech right here, Acanthus mollis. So all of this stuff is growing in. You can see the grass clippings in here, right? It's crazy. It really does improve what we have here, and which enables us to grow more things. It's just, like I say, the climate here in this part of Canada is quite amazing. I mean, really, when you think of Canada, there should be no palm trees anywhere this far north, but they do grow here on the coast, and we can grow a lot of really cool exotic plants. The problem with Salt Spring at this end of the island, it's extremely rocky, right? Extremely rocky, poor, dry soil, sandstone and shale. Here's the fuchsias blooming. You see the fuchsias? This is what hummingbirds love right here. So, I mean, we wouldn't be able to grow half of these things if Wendy didn't improve the soil. I'm happy that you, Wendy. Oh, thanks, Blast Off. Yeah, it was a good thing. She's a good gal, and we get along good. She does her thing, I do my thing, but mostly that's all gardening, right? That's a good thing, too. Joe, how did you meet Wendy? I met Wendy at the beach one day when I was working. I was working on a trail, a beach trail. I think I was putting gravel on the beach trail, raking the gravel out I put there. And then this gal came walking down with her mom, and didn't know her from Adam, never seen her before in my life. And that's how we met. We started talking. We actually started talking about gardening, believe it or not, and palm trees, because whenever I talk about gardening, I always get on the subject of palm trees. Doesn't matter if you start talking about petunias, I'm going to slip palm trees in there, right? So we started talking about palm trees. One thing led to another. And then I was at CD Saturday at the plant selling. I had a booth set up selling palm trees. And sure enough, she comes walking in, and she bought some palm trees from me. I have all my palm trees set out there, and I go to CD Saturday every year and sell palms. And I sold her some palms, and then she invited me up to see her garden. She had a really cool garden, lots of palm trees, lots of exotic plants. And that's how we met anyway. So now we are, going on 5 years marriage. Crazy, eh? That'll be end of November. End of November, 5 years. Time flies when you're having fun, right? Anyway, guys, I better roll because I got to do some stuff. And I could probably live stream with you guys all day. I'm surprised the stream is going this long, because sometimes the internet is so crappy here, it dies off. And usually that is when we have B&B guests, but we don't have B&B guests right now. We just had one check out a few days ago. And I know she's starting to get some bookings, but it has been slow because of what's going on in the world right now. But things are starting to open up, right? Things are starting to get back to more normal here. And really, Salt Spring, it's been pretty normal except for people wearing masks. I don't really see any difference in anything except less tourists here. Joe, you went down the best. You're awesome, Karos, Michael. That's totally sweet of you. And I appreciate the flowers, we'll say, the compliments, and also appreciate those super cool mugs, which I am going to, I see them over there. I see those mugs. How is your B&B? It's called Magnolia Petal B&B. We're on booking.com. So we have Magnolia Petal B&B and Exotic Gardens, and yes, Blast Off. And we also have our Beautiful Blossom B&B. So if you go to booking.com, Magnolia Petal B&B, and maybe I have in 20 years, you will have it faster than that, Michael. You will have it faster than that. And 20 years goes fast. Magnolia Petal B&B is on Facebook. Wendy has a Facebook page on Salt Spring Island. So Magnolia Petal B&B on Salt Spring Island. Or go to booking.com, Magnolia Petal B&B on booking.com on Salt Spring Island. You will see her B&B. You'll see the inside with the ratings and all that stuff. And Wendy has really nice. B&B. She runs it. I have nothing to do with the B&B. I mean, I help her out. I'll help her clean it up and stuff after the guests check out. And she had 3 B&Bs at her last location. Really nice 3-room B&B with amazing gardens. And people actually come here to see the gardens. That's where they come. So I'm going to show you the back garden once again. There's the loquat tree and everything else. You see looking down, Guatemalan cherry loaded up with flowers and lots of palmy things, folks. And way in the back there, you can see the bamboo grove. And then there's a taxodium way in the back of it. You can see the bald cypress, a big one. Way in the back 40. So yeah, check it out online and check out Gallery 59. If you're on Facebook, Wendy's got a really cool art gallery. I'll show you one more time the art gallery that's getting engulfed by a Clematis armandi, right? There we are. You need to... Well, is there a deer out there? Yeah. There's a deer out here by the palm tree. Let's go see. Wendy said there's a deer out here. Oh, low power mode, guys. I don't know. Where's the deer? I'm going to see. Hopefully this doesn't die. There's a deer out here. I hope it does. Anyway, I don't want to go too far out. Wendy's home. I'm still live. What's? Oh, I got to grab a bag. She went shopping. Wendy went shopping. So, guys, I want to show you something. There's the other B&B here, right there. See the tiny house? There's other B&Bs right up there. Yeah, tiny house.
The deer was right here.
So anyway, check out Wendy's art gallery on Facebook. It's called Gallery 59. Here it is. Here's the back of it. Right? There's the back of the gallery right there. Instagram. She's on Instagram at Magnolia Petal. All right. So this is the back of her gallery, and this is her gadget shop. She sells gadgets in here. Lots of neat things. There's tiny tikis. There's the smallest art gallery on Salt Spring Island. Paintings, and there's walking sticks. Lots of walking sticks. That one's got palm tree on it. Lots of walking sticks. And then here's the gallery here. Can't really see in there very much because the lights are out, but that's full of paintings, that art gallery. It's quite a cool little building. I built that more than about 25 years ago, 96. I built that building for like a playhouse for the kids, and she converted it, insulated, wired it, everything, turned it into an art gallery, put those cool doors in it. Do you have it? Yes, I do. I'm on Instagram. Yep, Banana Joe. Banana Joe Clementi on Instagram. You bet. You'll see my page. I post pictures on there. So lots of pictures on Instagram of gardens, sometimes food, this, that, and the other. So yeah, check it out. Wendy's also on Instagram as well. Magnolia Petal, right? So anyway, I'm going to hand this thing over to Wendy soon when she gets in here. And I'm going to click it off because I got to get stuff done. I like those sun rays. Isn't that cool? Look at them coming through the fascia. Sun rays through the fascia. There's one of Wendy's maples right there. There's an Acer palmatum dissectum and camellia, and then there's those are hibiscus. And I got to try out Michael's cup. I got to try the mug out. Okay? We're going to try out Michael's mugs. She's coming in. She's coming through the palms. Well, this has been a good live stream. It's been lots of fun. Can't find them. Can't put a link on. Yeah, I can. Yeah, we're on there. Banana Joe Clementi on I got a lot of followers on there on Instagram. Well, not a ton of followers. I think like 530 or something like so. Not a lot of followers, but I'm on there, and go for Magnolia Petal too. And if you go to Magnolia Petal. Oh, you found it. Okay, there you go. So I can add you if you want. I can follow you back, and then you can see some of our palmy pics. I don't know what Wendy's doing. She's over there somewhere. Hello, Richard. Good to see you in there. I'm getting close to the end of my live stream. I've been going for a long time here. Wendy went to town. She's back, and I'm still live streaming. What the heck? And I'm holding groceries. I'm holding bags of groceries for.
You've been live streaming?
I've been live streaming on your channel the whole time.
Oh my God.
Hello from the Netherlands, Richard. Hello from Salt Spring Island. Greetings. Great. Gonna send some pics. Okay, cool. Will, in Austria too. You got Austria.
I got a Frank stick.
She got a Frank stick.
I used to have these and they all broke, but this, yeah, they only
okay.
One.
Cool. Got Netherlands in there. Got Austria. Got Poland. Got Pennsylvania. We got everywhere. South Carolina. I'm gonna bring this in and I'm gonna try that mug out. I got to get down into the nursery. So anyway, guys, I'm going to say take care. I'm going to hand this phone over to her. She's going to sign off. No, she's going to sign off.
You are going to.
And I'm just going to show you the view through. Here's Wendy's view through the kitchen window, right there. There's Wendy's kitchen window view. Was there eclipse yesterday? Yeah, we missed it because we had rain last. We had rain last night.
But it was on. You couldn't see it from where we live. Is up in northern Canada.
Oh, northern Canada.
Could see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
northern Canada could see it.
So okay, in order to.
Okay, guys, I want to say goodbye to these people first, though. Okay, so today more live chat. Maybe tomorrow, Michael. And Michael, we want to thank you once again for the awesome mug. So thank to Michael and family in Poland from Wendy and Joe on Salt Spring Island. Wendy and I love those mugs, and those are actually very special mugs because they are made from a tree that your grandpa planted 50 years ago. That is half a century ago. That is a super cool thing that you did those, and we really appreciate it. And thanks for watching, Michael. And stay tuned for more videos. And Wendy tomorrow will upload, right here, Wendy will upload a video of us unboxing those mugs, and she'll put it on this channel. So stay tuned for more videos on Gulf Island Rock. And I'm going to hand the phone over to Wendy.
No, because you need to learn how to do this.
Okay. Thank you very much. And thank you, Michael. We
Hey,
totally
cheers.
appreciate it. And cheers.
Bye. Aloha.
See, I'm shorter than Wendy. See, I was that short right there. I'm not short right there. That's my tall wife. Anyway.
He wishes he was short.
All right, so we're going to say goodbye and cheers to all of you.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there.
I'm trying to figure out how do we shut
How do we shut it
Joe
off?
and I are not okay.
Stay
I
tuned
think
for another live stream on
Okay.
Gulf Island Rock. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I think it's the X.